When it comes to community conversations about policing, there are few topics the Arlington Police Department gets asked about more often than traffic stops. It's why we want to take some time to answer the questions our officers receive most frequently and provide you with a comprehensive look at the anatomy of a traffic stop. The answer to this question is pretty simple: to save lives. Fatality crashes, unfortunately, are on the rise in Arlington. Through July of this year, we've responded to 28 deadly wrecks that have claimed the lives of 31 people. That's on pace to surpass our numbers for the entire calendar year of 2020, when we responded to 33 fatal wrecks that killed 34 people. And those figures don't include the nearly 1,600 wrecks we've worked this year where someone was injured.
We do traffic enforcement to prevent accidents, to keep the public safe, and to change driving behavior. And that's our main goals.
The short answer: most of the time they cannot. When officers are running speed enforcement, for example, they use these laser devices called LiDAR guns, which can measure a vehicle's speed from hundreds or even thousands of feet away, well before they can clearly see who is behind the wheel.
They're usually 1,000 feet or more away from us. And it can go all the way up to 2,500 feet away. So it doesn't have to be a certain distance, so we can get speeders quite a distance away from us.
Also consider that many of our traffic stops occur during the evening hours when it's darker outside, making it more difficult to see a driver through the windshield. Here are our traffic stop numbers for 2019, 2020, and through June of 2021. Across all 3 years, you can see that roughly 25% of our stops are made between 9 o'clock p.m. and 7 o'clock a.m. This is probably the most frequently asked question we get, and one that's worth exploring. For starters, it's important to understand why officers approach traffic stops the way they do.
For an officer, there's a lot of changing things going on during a traffic stop. There's traffic around us to consider. There's the location where we pulled over to consider. Of paramount importance to us is who's in the vehicle, what's going on in the vehicle. We have no idea what's in the vehicle. Statistically, traffic stops, officers get hurt more on traffic stops than just about anything else that we do.
Hey man, go ahead and stay in the car for me.
And it's why officers may tell you to take or not take certain actions during the stop for everyone's safety.
I want to make sure that the citizens are safe. I want to make sure that the public is safe, and myself also being safe.
With that in mind, let's highlight some of the things you should and should not do during a traffic stop. First, find a safe place to pull over, like a parking lot or side street. Do not stop in the middle of the roadway. It's okay if you have to drive a little ways to get to a safe spot. Just make sure you activate your hazards or a turn signal to let the officer know you see them.
That will help put the officer at ease.
Do not get out of your vehicle unless the officer specifically tells you to. Just stay seated, roll down your window, and if it's dark outside, turn on your interior lights. Most importantly, don't fidget around as the officer is approaching your car. Place both hands on the steering wheel where the officer can see them.
We have to follow their hands because that's where the weapons or the dangers could be. So that's why we follow their hands, and also we make sure that there's nothing else inside of the car, and it's just for their safety and our safety.
Do you have your driver's license and your insurance?
Yes, I do. It's right here in the cup holder.
The officer will tell you when it's okay to move your hands so you can grab your driver's license and proof of insurance. Just let them know where you're reaching. Hang tight while the officer goes back to their patrol car. If they issue you a citation when they return, the officer will ask for your signature. This is not an admission of guilt, but simply an acknowledgement that you received the citation and that you'll contact the courts by the date listed on the ticket.
Other than that, you're free to go. Do you have any questions?
Finally, the officer will let you know when you're free to go.
If we keep it civil, we talk to each other, usually we can come to an understanding of what's going on. And if you don't agree, that's okay too. There are steps to take past the citation, past the traffic stop, to further that discussion.
On every traffic stop, whether you receive a citation or not, officers are required to provide you with their name and badge number, as well as contact information for the department's internal affairs unit. If you have concerns about a stop or an officer's conduct, report it. The Internal Affairs Unit investigates all complaints thoroughly. You can also contact them if you'd like to compliment an officer you interacted with.
As an officer, it's our duty to be courteous and to be professional.
You should expect me to be professional with you. You should expect me to introduce myself. You should expect me to tell you the reason that you were stopped. Those are all things that an officer is trained to do. The more civil and professional we can be with each other, the better it's going to be. It's okay to disagree. I also have to remember that the officer is a human being, the same as you, has emotions, has concerns, fears, a family to go home to. All of those things are playing into their mind.
And please, be safe on our roadways and follow all traffic laws.